She ignores you, not because she feels nothing, but precisely because she is starting to feel too much. This is the paradox that dismantles men. You feel it in your bones. The connection was real. The laughter, the way she held your gaze just a second too long, the energy that crackled in the space between you, it was undeniable. And then, silence. A sudden, inexplicable void where that warmth used to be. Her messages become shorter, or they stop completely. The distance feels like a physical wall of cold air, and your mind races, trying to find the logical reason for a completely emotional event. You search your past conversations for the mistake, the wrong word, the single misstep that could have caused this. But you will find nothing, because the problem isn't in what you did. The problem is in what you are about to do next, and she is waiting, silently, to see it. If this feeling of confusion resonates with you, if you've ever felt that disconnect between her energy and her actions, then you are in the right place. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your own experience in the comments below. What you are about to learn will not only explain her behavior, but will fundamentally change how you perceive your own power in these dynamics. This is not about learning a new line or a new trick. It is about understanding the silent language that is spoken when words disappear. It is about decoding the test that you have been failing your entire life without even realizing you were taking it. The answers are not where you have been looking. They are not in her phone. They are inside of you. And it is time to finally understand what she is truly asking of you when she says nothing at all. You felt this, haven't you? That glowing green dot next to her name, a beacon of her presence, yet your screen remains dark. Nothing. The silence is deafening, and it starts to feel personal, like a direct judgment on your worth. This is where the average man begins to crumble. He believes the lie, the great illusion, that her silence is a problem that must be solved. His ego, fragile and hungry for validation, screams for him to times do something asterisk to fix it. He replays every interaction, convinced he must have shown too much interest, or maybe not enough. He starts drafting messages in his head, a casual question, a funny meme, anything to break the tension and pull a response from her. He sees the silence as a failure on his part, a signal that he is losing her, and this flawed perception is the very source of his powerlessness. He is reacting to the storm, forgetting he is meant to be the lighthouse. This is the first mistake, the one that seals your fate before the real test has even begun. You interpret her emotional withdrawal through a male, logical lens. If someone is interested, they communicate. If they are silent, they are not. But her world does not operate on your logic. Her silence is not a rejection. It is an unconscious invitation for you to reveal your own emotional core. When she pulls away, she is not running from you. She is creating a space to see if you will panic and chase after her. She is subconsciously testing your frame, your stability. Will you crumble without her constant validation? Will you reveal yourself to be needy, anxious, and dependent on her approval? Her distance is a question, and your reaction is the answer. She is not testing your interest in her. She is testing your control over yourself, and so you will fall for it. Every single time. You believe the lie because it feels so logical, so rational, so completely aligned with everything you've ever been taught about cause and effect. The lie is simple. If she is silent, she has lost interest. Your brain, wired for problem solving, immediately categorizes this as a threat to be neutralized. The warmth you felt from her is gone, and like an animal sensing the coming winter, you are filled with a primal panic. You must act. You must do something to bring back that warmth. This belief, this desperate need to fix her silence, is the first domino to fall. It is the beginning of a chain reaction that will systematically strip you of your power, your dignity, and the very attraction she felt for you in the first place. You see a problem to be solved, but she sees a man about to fail a test. Your mind becomes a war room, and you are the failing general. You replay every conversation, every shared glance, searching for the tactical error that led to this silent battlefield. You convince yourself that if you can just find the right combination of words, the perfect casual question, or a meme that feels effortlessly witty, you can breach her defenses and re-establish connection. You draft messages and delete them, agonizing over tone and timing. Does this sound too needy? Does this sound too distant? This entire process is rooted in the illusion that her attention is a prize to be won through cleverness or effort. What you fail to understand is that you are not playing a game of chess. You are standing in the middle of a storm. And your frantic attempts to control the wind are not only futile, but also reveal that you are not the lighthouse she was looking for. This is the precise moment you give your power away. The instant you decide her silence is an emergency that requires your immediate intervention, you place the source of your emotional well-being directly in her hands. You are communicating in the clearest possible terms that your inner peace is dependent on her response. Your frantic energy to fill the void she has created only proves to her that you have a void of your own. A man who is centered, a man who is on his own mission, does not panic when the world goes quiet. He has his own internal engine, his own source of validation. Your neediness, disguised as persistence, broadcasts a single, unattractive message. Without your attention, I am lost. And no woman is ever truly attracted to a lost man. She is looking for a guide, not another soul to rescue. Let's be honest. You have become addicted to the validation that her notifications provide. That little ping from your phone has become a measure of your worth for the day. Her replies, her likes, her engagement, they were small hits of dopamine that made you feel seen, desired, and important. Now that they are gone, you are experiencing withdrawal. This is not romance, this is dependency. You check her social media, her online status, searching for any sign of life, any clue that might explain her silence. You are looking for her, but you are not thinking about her. You are thinking only of the uncomfortable feeling her absence creates inside of you. Tell me if this sounds familiar. This obsessive monitoring is not a sign of your affection for her. It is a symptom of your disconnection from yourself. You are using her as a distraction from your own inner silence. The most dangerous lie you tell yourself is that your pursuit is a sign of your commitment. You have been conditioned by movies and stories to believe that the man who fights for the woman, who refuses to give up, is the one who ultimately wins her heart. But you are confusing romantic persistence with anxious desperation. One is a calm, confident expression of intent from a man who knows his worth. The other is a frantic, validation-seeking scramble from a man who fears he has none. When you send that long paragraph explaining your feelings or the "just wanted to see if you're okay" text, you think you are showing her how much you care. What she actually hears is the loud, clanging alarm of your insecurity. She doesn't feel pursued, she feels pressured. She feels the weight of your emotional need, and it is suffocating. Ultimately, your reaction to her silence has nothing to do with her and everything to do with your inability to face your own emptiness. Every text you almost send, every status you almost check, is an attempt to run away from the discomfort of simply being with yourself in the quiet. Her silence holds up a mirror, and you are terrified of the needy, anxious man looking back at you. You believe you must get a response from her to feel better, but that is the core of the illusion. The power you seek is not in her reply. It is in your ability to put the phone down, turn it face down on the table, and return your focus to your own life without knowing if she will ever text back. It is the ability to be okay in the silence, because her silence is not a rejection of you, it is a reflection of your own fear. The hidden truth is that her silence has nothing to do with the loss of interest and everything to do with the sudden, terrifying arrival of it. When a woman begins to feel genuinely vulnerable with a man, when her heart truly starts to open, a primal defense mechanism is triggered deep within her. It is not a conscious decision or a calculated game. It is a biological imperative, an ancient survival instinct designed to protect her from emotional devastation. Her withdrawal is not a rejection of you, it is an involuntary recoil from the intensity of her own feelings. She is creating distance, not to push you away, but to observe you from a place where she feels safe. The cold silence you are experiencing is the sound of her internal alarms, a system check designed to answer one critical question. Is this man's presence a safe harbor or the beginning of a shipwreck? Her silence is, in its purest form, a test. But it is not a test you can study for or cheat on. It is an unconscious, somatic screening process that measures the stability of your masculine core. As she feels herself falling, her nervous system screams for a safety net. Her instinct needs to know, is he the rock, or is he just another wave that will crash against me? She creates an emotional storm, the distance, the silence, the ambiguity, for the sole purpose of seeing if your light will flicker. She watches from the shore, not with cold judgment, but with a desperate, unspoken hope that you will remain unshaken, a steady beacon in her manufactured chaos. Your panic, your frantic need for answers, is the definitive proof she was looking for that you cannot be her anchor. You have just failed the test. Herein lies the paradox that dismantles the logical male mind. The more she is interested, the more intense her tests will become. You interpret her growing distance as a sign of fading attraction, when it is often the most potent indicator of the exact opposite. The severity of her withdrawal is directly proportional to the depth of her burgeoning feelings. A woman who feels little for you will not bother to test you. She will simply fade away politely or ghost you without a second thought. It is the woman who sees real, tangible potential in you, the one who is genuinely terrified by the power you are beginning to have over her emotions, who will put you through this trial by fire. Her silence is not an insult. It is an unwilling compliment, a testament to the space you now occupy in her heart. To understand this, you must understand that her inner world is often a chaotic sea of emotion, a constant flux of feelings that can overwhelm even her. She is not looking for a man who will dive into that chaos with her. She is desperately searching for the lighthouse. She needs a stable, unmovable point of reference that can guide her back to shore when the storm hits. When she goes silent, she is whipping up the wind and the waves on purpose. She is waiting to see if you will stand firm, radiating calm, or if you will foolishly try to command the ocean. Your attempts to fix her silence, your demands for clarity, your paragraphs of explanation, they're all acts of a man trying to control the weather. It reveals your fundamental misunderstanding of her nature and your inability to provide the one thing she truly craves, grounded peace. She creates a vacuum to see what you will fill it with. This is the essence of her test. The sudden void left by her absence is a space, a canvas, and your reaction is the paint. Will you rush to fill that emptiness with your anxiety, your neediness, your incessant questions, and your emotional demands? Or will you fill it with your own life, your own purpose, your own unshakable presence? Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does her subconscious. If you flood the space with your insecurity, you prove that your emotional state is dependent on her. But if you hold your ground, maintaining your focus on your own mission, you create a powerful gravitational pull. Your stillness becomes magnetic. She created the distance to test you, but your calm within that distance is what will make her want to close it herself. You must reframe what is happening. She is not ignoring you. She is observing you more intently than ever before. She has simply stepped back to get a better view of the man you truly are when you are not receiving her validation. From this new vantage point, your every energetic signature is magnified. Your frantic texting, your obsessive checking of her online status, the subtle desperation in your voice, she feels it all, even from a distance. Her silence has sharpened her intuition. She is no longer listening to your words, which can be crafted and controlled. She is listening to the silent frequency of your emotional state. Is it calm, centered, and confident? Or is it buzzing with the frantic, chaotic energy of neediness? Tell me if you've ever felt that unseen gaze before. You are not being ignored. You are on stage. This is all rooted in a profound emotional logic. For a woman, surrendering to a man, truly trusting him with her heart, is the ultimate act of vulnerability. Before she can take that leap, her deepest instincts must be satisfied that he is emotionally stronger than her own chaos. She is not testing your love for her, she is testing your love for yourself. Her silent questions are profound. Can you handle me at my most uncertain? If I begin to fall apart, will you be there to hold me together, or will you crumble alongside me? Your reaction to her temporary distance is a direct preview of how you will handle every future storm. By remaining calm and centered, you are not just passing a test. You are making a silent, powerful promise that you are her rock. So, the hidden truth is this. Her silence is not a weapon she uses against you, but a shield she uses to protect herself. She pulls away precisely because she is afraid of feeling for you what she is starting to feel. She needs to know that the ground beneath her feet is solid before she takes another step toward you. This is not a game. It is the most serious form of emotional risk assessment imaginable. She is gauging the structural integrity of your masculine core. And the great, beautiful irony is that the only way to prove to her that you are a safe harbor is to demonstrate through your actions that you are perfectly fine without her. Your emotional independence is the one and only key to her surrender. The storm was never about you. It was about her needing to see the lighthouse. The ideal response, the one that changes everything, begins not with an action, but with a breath. The mature man feels the same initial jolt of anxiety when her silence arrives. He sees the void and his ego screams for him to fill it. But instead of obeying, he simply observes. He watches the wave of panic rise within him, and he lets it pass without becoming the wave itself. He understands that you cannot control the ocean by fighting it. You master it by learning to surf. His first move is to do nothing at all. He recognizes the silence not as a problem to be solved, but as an invitation to demonstrate his own inner stillness. This is not a passive waiting. It is an active, conscious choice to remain centered. He understands that his power is not in his next move, but in his ability to remain unmoved. He puts the phone down. He might even turn it face down on the table, a small but profound act of reclaiming his own attention. He then returns his focus to the world that exists beyond that small screen, to his work, his workout, his reading, his mission. This is the critical distinction. He is not ignoring her to punish her or to play a game. He is genuinely prioritizing himself because his sense of purpose is more compelling than his need for her validation. This act sends a silent, powerful message into the ether. My life continues, with or without your attention. He is not a satellite orbiting her world. He is the sun at the center of his own. Her silence, which was designed to test his foundation, has just revealed that his foundation is built on solid rock, not on the shifting sands of her approval. You are trying to grasp her attention like a man trying to catch water in his fist. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. True attraction, like water, can only be held in an open hand. You must let go of the need to hold it for it to stay. The centered man understands this law of nature. He opens his hand. He lets her go energetically. He releases his attachment to the outcome, to whether she texts back or not. This is not apathy. It is the highest form of confidence. It is a deep, internal knowing that he is complete on his own. This release of control creates an emotional vacuum far more powerful than the one she tried to create with her silence. It is a space of freedom, and in that freedom, she is the one who will feel the pull to move closer. This calm is not a strategy, it is a state of being. He fills the void she created, not with desperate texts, but with his own unwavering presence in his own life. The energy he would have wasted analyzing her behavior is instead invested back into himself. He becomes more focused at work. He pushes harder in the gym. He reads books that expand his mind. He is not doing these things to impress her. He is doing them because that is who he is. His life has its own momentum, its own powerful current. Her silence, which felt like a deafening roar to the needy man, becomes mere background noise to him. He is the composer of his own symphony, and he will not allow a single missing instrument to ruin the performance. This is the ultimate expression of a man who is on his mission. From her perspective, this is both baffling and deeply attractive. She created a storm and expected to see a ship tossed on the waves. Instead, she sees a lighthouse, its beam cutting through the darkness, steady and unflickering. Her test, which was designed to expose his weakness, has instead revealed his unshakable strength. She expected him to chase, to question, to demand, and his silence in response is the most powerful answer he could possibly give. It communicates without a single word that he is not destabilized by her emotional chaos. He is the calm she has been searching for. Her attempt to gain control by pulling away has resulted in her losing it completely, as his stillness becomes a magnetic force, a quiet mystery she now feels an overwhelming urge to return to and understand. The final realization is this: your power is not in getting her to respond, it is in becoming the man who is entirely at peace whether she responds or not. You do not attract by chasing. You attract by becoming so still, so rooted in your own purpose, that you can finally be truly seen. This is the end of the game, because you are no longer a player trying to win a prize. You have become the prize itself. Your emotional freedom is the most attractive quality you will ever possess. Her silence was a gift, an opportunity to confront your own inner void and fill it not with her validation, but with your own unshakable sense of self. When you stop needing her, she starts needing your presence. The storm was never the point. The lighthouse was. And so the entire landscape of your reality shifts. You finally see it. She ignores you not because she feels nothing, but precisely because she is starting to feel too much. This phrase, once a source of deep confusion and pain, now lands inside you with the quiet, resonant clarity of an undeniable truth. The storm she created was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to reveal you. Her silence was not an attack, but a question whispered from the most vulnerable part of her soul. Are you safe? Every anxious text you almost sent, every moment of obsessive thought was you screaming back, no, I am not. But now, in this stillness, you understand. You were never fighting her. You were fighting the reflection of your own emptiness that she held up for you to see. The battle was always and only with yourself. The true power was never in understanding her chaos. It was in mastering your own calm. She doesn't want your explanations. She wants your stability. She doesn't need your words. She needs to feel your unwavering presence. When you finally put the phone down and turn your attention back to your own life, your own mission, you are not playing a game of reverse psychology. You are making the most profound statement of masculine strength there is. You are communicating on a primal frequency she understands better than any language, that your world does not stop spinning if she steps out of it. You are the sun. Your gravity is a product of your own mass, your own purpose. Her withdrawal was a test of that gravity, and by remaining in your own orbit, you prove that you are the center of your own universe. And nothing is more magnetic to a woman than a man who is his own world. This is the moment the game ends, because you are no longer a player. Her tests, her withdrawals, her silences, they lose all their power over you because you no longer perceive them as a reflection of your worth. They are simply the weather. You do not get angry at the rain. You simply recognize that it is raining and continue on your way. You are no longer the ship being tossed by her emotional waves. You are the ocean itself, vast, deep, and fundamentally unmoved by the tempests on its surface. When she feels this shift in you, and she will feel it, from miles away, her entire strategy becomes obsolete. She was testing a man, but you are no longer just a man. You have become a presence, a force of nature. and the storm cannot test the ocean. It can only dissolve back into it. So look again. Look at her silence, at her distance, and see it for what it truly is, an unconscious plea for your strength. An invitation to become the man she is terrified of wanting, but desperately needs. The entire dynamic was a call for you to stop seeking validation outside of yourself and to finally build it within. The goal was never to win her. It was to become the man for whom her approval is a pleasant addition, not a desperate necessity. This is the final turn. This is your liberation. Her silence did not break you. It built you. It forced you to find the king within yourself, the one who does not need a queen to know his own power. Comment below what you now see in her behavior that you couldn't see before. Because what has changed is not her, it's you.